Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be doing the 10,000 subscribers Q&A. Thank you guys so much for all of your really positive comments on the Q&A video. A lot of you guys said really nice things, and a lot of you left really good questions for me. So again, thank you guys so much for 10,000 subs. We're past it now already. We're well on our way to 11,000, which is just crazy to think about, so I'm really happy. Anyway guys, we're gonna start the Q&A off with the first question here. Now the first question comes from OG Majin Buu. I'm sorry, I probably just destroyed your name, my bad. Congrats man on 10k. Just want to say thank you for all the fan interaction you do on your videos. Of course guys, I don't mind replying to comments. It's like these big YouTubers go on and on about how they can't reply to comments. It's like, unless you're getting more than like 1,000 comments in a day, like it's really not that hard to reply. So I think they're just lazy, to be honest with you guys. His question is, who is my biggest inspiration to do YouTube? As far as somebody who makes videos and who is like in the sort of creator space, Dr. Disrespect is definitely my like biggest inspiration to do YouTube. I was watching him a lot during the whole COVID thing when it first started, and I started doing YouTube about 2 months later, and I'm just a huge fan of his. He makes absolutely incredible content, I think. And as far as streamers go, I think he's literally like the greatest streamer ever. Like as far as putting in production value into his streams and everything like that, nobody does it better. So he's amazing. And I would definitely say he's my biggest inspiration as far as a creator. As far as an inspiration outside of a creator, I would say definitely my friends and family for sure. And definitely like haters too, because like anyone who's ever said like you can't do it, like you're not going to be anything with that, all that sort of stuff. I'm the type of person that loves to prove people wrong. And so whenever I get the opportunity to do that, like with YouTube, it definitely motivates me a lot. I'll just say that. Thank you so much for the question. Let's move on to the next one. Krishna says, congrats on the 10k man, keep up the great work. Can we expect live streams and also some subscriber heists? Now I'm super down to do some subscriber heists. Live streaming, I'm not sure how I honestly feel about it. I definitely prefer to make videos, I think, and then edit them, make sure that everything's really good, and deliver like kind of a high quality product. Now I know I was just talking about streamers and Dr. Disrespect and everything, and I don't want this to come off as a diss towards streamers. I really don't want that. But streaming seems a little bit like lazy to me, and I know that sounds harsh, but it's like you don't really have to edit. You just kind of have to sit there and play games in front of your audience. And I'm sure, trust me, I get it. It's actually a lot harder than that. But as far as content creation wise, it's really not that hard, I don't think. And the content that is delivered is maybe not as good as content that has been edited and made to be, you know, a little bit funnier, a little bit better in this way or that way. I don't know about streaming. I wouldn't be opposed to it, that's for sure. I probably will stream in the future for sure, but I just don't know when. You can definitely expect them in the future though. So to answer your question, yes, you can expect live streams at some point, and also some subscriber heists. Definitely plan on doing that. I have KO Perico done on PC, so if you guys ever need some money or anything like that, I'm super down to run KO and get you guys some bread. I don't really need money in GTA, so I can make the payouts more for, you know, anybody who I'm actually doing the heist with. So comment down below if you're on PC. We can run some heists at some point soon. So let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Krishna. Paris Uncaged. I've been binge watching your videos. Keep up the good work, man. Q&A, what was your first car in the game and do you still have it? So my first car that I really bought in GTA was actually all the way back in 2013, and it was a Coquette. That was the first car that I bought. I remember Rockstar gave every player 500 grand in the game because the servers at GTA Online's launch were pretty trash. So as a sorry for that, they gave everybody 500 grand, and I spent mine on a Coquette. But then I was banned in 2017. You guys can probably figure that one out. But I do still have a Coquette. However, the Coquette is definitely not my favorite car in the game. It is a car that I do have still. I don't drive it very much at all, but I do still have it. So to answer your question, kind of, I still have my first car. It's not the exact same one, but it is the same model. Next up, we have Jogue the Rogue, my boy. This guy's been supporting me for a long time. Shout out him. Appreciate you, man. Congratulations on 10,000 subscribers, brother. You have definitely earned it with your hard work. Keep thriving. A question for the Q&A, how are you doing outside of YouTube? Is life good? Outside of YouTube, life is definitely pretty good. I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of family, very supportive people in my life for sure. I'm honestly pretty happy. I've definitely, there's been times in my life where I haven't been happy at all, but I can honestly say the past few months I've been doing really, really, really good. And a large part of that is definitely due to YouTube and due to you guys always supporting me. And yeah, it's awesome to see, man. So yeah, no, I'm doing really good outside of YouTube. I appreciate the question. It's a really nice question. I appreciate you looking out, man. My boy Greg commented, "Woohoo, let's go Harm, congrats, bro." Q&A question: what are your favorite vehicles in the whole of GTA? Could be weaponized or not. So my favorite vehicle in the entire game is the Adder. The Adder is a super OG car. A lot of you guys might not even know what the Adder is. It's basically based off of a Bugatti Veyron. It was the first True Fade car that was actually added into the game. It and the Z-Type were the only True Fade cars in the game for quite a long time. So the Adder is my favorite car in GTA. As far as a non-supercar goes, the Dominator ASP is also one of my favorite cars. It's probably my second favorite car in the game. And for an armored vehicle, the Insurgent Pickup Custom or the Insurgent is definitely my whip as far as an armored vehicle goes. As far as an aircraft goes, the Hydra. Hydra is by far, it's my thing. For a helicopter, the Akula is definitely my favorite helicopter as well. There's a lot of cars that I really, really like in GTA, honestly. There's so many good ones nowadays, but those are definitely some of my favorite vehicles. So anyway, thank you for the question. I appreciate it. My boy Kay, congrats, man. So happy to see you hit this huge milestone. Keep up the great work, man. Shout out to you. This guy's been supporting me for a long time. Appreciate you, man. This question is, if you were to travel to any place or places in the world, where would it be and why? I really, really want to go to Europe. I want to go to Germany. I want to go to the UK. I want to go to Italy. All three of those places are really, really fascinating to me. If you guys didn't know, which you probably don't unless you've been around for a long time, I'm really interested in World War II. So I feel like going to Germany, going to London, and going to Italy would be really, really cool to see some of the World War II sort of related attractions, I guess. I don't know if I would call it an attraction. That sounds like an amusement park and it was a world war. So I don't quite know the terminology to use there, but definitely I would love to go to Europe. I'd also love to go to like Hawaii, somewhere warm, you know, stuff like that. But Europe is definitely on my list, I would say. I'd also really like to go to Italy because I'm a pretty huge car guy, and seeing some Ferraris in Italy or some Lamborghinis in Italy would be pretty cool, I think. And maybe going to some of their stores there. I don't know if they have museums. I would kind of assume they probably have a Ferrari and a Lamborghini museum there. I don't really know for sure, but if they do, I would definitely like to check that out. Thanks for the question, man. Appreciate it. Joe, funny name. Congrats, bro. You got to 10K and I believe you deserved every single subscriber. Appreciate that a lot. What is your favorite GTA map and or GTA game? So, fun fact, GTA 5 is the only Grand Theft Auto game that I have ever actually played. And that might be surprising to you guys. However, when GTA 5 came out, I was 12 years old, almost 13. But it was kind of the first time when I was actually allowed to play a GTA game. So that's why it's my first. So I can really only say that GTA 5 is my favorite game and the GTA 5 map is my favorite map. I did watch a lot of GTA 4 content when I was a bit younger, and Liberty City seems really cool. So I would like to see Liberty City, you know, make a comeback. Maybe in the next game, we'll see. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see, I guess. Thanks for the question. Appreciate it. Richard, man, congrats again, bro. You're on the road to 100K. That's crazy to think about, man. What are 3 features you would like for GTA 6 to include that GTA 5 didn't have? This is an interesting question because GTA 5 does actually have quite a lot of content. I know there's a pretty big hatred for GTA within the community. It's like, oh, GTA 5 sucks, but like honestly, for coming out in 2013, it's a pretty incredible game. And like, yes, it's had a lot of help with updates and stuff, but it's pretty incredible. However, what I would like to see in GTA 6 is anti-cheat, like a proper anti-cheat that like actually like works a little bit more. That would be really cool to see. I don't know if this really counts, but I would like to see a way bigger map. The GTA 5 map is really small, at least in my opinion. Maybe it's because I've been playing the game for over 8 years now. The map in GTA 5 is not very big, in my opinion. It's actually a pretty small map. So I would like to see a way bigger map. I don't know if you would really count that as a feature, but I would love to see a way bigger map. And I would also love to see on that map there be a little bit more water. Like, I know the GTA 5's map is surrounded by water, but I'd like to see some more use of like maybe rivers and stuff like that to kind of like break up the scenery. I know we have the lake obviously in the middle of the map, we have the canyon, and we have like the swampy area by the military base there. I'd like to see boats honestly have a bigger place in GTA, like a bigger impact, because with this map you can sail around the outside of the map, but you really can't go that deep into the middle of the map. Like, obviously you can get a boat within the Alamo Sea, but it's not really the same thing, you know what I mean? So definitely would like to see some more water, a bigger map, anti-cheat. That's 3 things, but I feel like 2 of those were like kind of grouped together. Another thing that I would like to see, I want the game to be modern day. I don't want it to be set in the 80s, and I don't want it to be set in the future. I want it to be set like literally in the same time frame as GTA 5. And the reason for that is because I think if it gets set either in the past or in the future, it limits what we can actually have within the game. So I'm really hoping that Rockstar knows that. Fingers crossed for me, at least. That's just my opinion. Because, you know, if it's in the 80s, you can only go so far forward in history. And if it's in the future, you can only go so far back, really, and you can only go so far forward as well. So I feel like modern day is kind of where it's at. Fingers crossed, I'm really hoping that it is a modern day game. Thank you for the question. That's a great question. Let's go on to the next one. TS, I'm sorry, I probably butchered that. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name if that is your last name. What would you like to see in the next DLC? Kind of an expansion of the last question. I would like to see, and it's not going to happen, but a new map. Like, bro, I'm so sick of the GTA 5 map, to be honest with you guys, but I'd like to see a new map. And if we can't get a new map, then definitely a cops and robbers themed update where we can actually own police cars and maybe play as cops. I feel like that'd be really, really cool to see. New heists are always cool too. I mean, I'm not a super huge heist guy, to be honest. They are cool to see. I just want to see a big update. That's really what I want. A lot of content. That's what I would like to see. So anyway, thank you for the question. Good question. Next up, we have my boy Bobby. Shout out Bobby, good friend of mine in real life. Congratulations, brother. As you already know, I have a few questions. When are you taking the guys out for dinner? Oh, that's on Saturday, you already know. When is the second mod going to happen on the G37, exhaust, window tint, etc.? I have a G37 in real life, if you guys didn't know that. That's what he's referring to. Window tint's gotta come first, man. I don't know, this thing's a fishbowl, so we gotta get that done at some point, so I don't know. Next question is, what is the next whip? May I suggest a Shelby Mustang? If you guys didn't know, I really, really like the Shelby GT350 Mustang. I think it's a really, really sick car. As far as the next whip goes, man, I don't know. I got a lot of vehicles that I would really like to own one day. We'll see what happens. I definitely want to get something that I could share with the channel. Maybe something that, you know, could do some work on the channel. I kind of want to do, you know, a bit of car related stuff on this channel as well, like real life car related stuff. I think that would be interesting content. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. And last but not least, he says, bring back Farming Sim. We'll have to see. I don't know. I need to finish that series. We're sitting on part 9 here, and I'm about 6 months late for part 10. So we'll see if we can finish Farming Simulator off at some point. So we'll see. Thank you for the questions, bro. Chechen Wojak, what would you love to see in the expanded and enhanced update? What is your dream car? Appreciate the questions, man. In expanded and enhanced, I'd like to see it come to PC. Not just Series X and PS5, but I feel like hope is dwindling for that, which is unfortunate, because that means I have to go out and spend a bunch of money on a console so I can make content for you guys, but it's all going to be worth it, so I'm not tripping. Yeah, I'd like to see it come to PC. I'd like to see all the vehicles in the game get an update, like more liveries, more customization options, updated interiors would be really nice as well, and all the vehicles to just be faster. I feel like that'd be pretty dope to see with expanded and enhanced. I know they're doing top speed upgrade on some cars that are going to be in the game, so that'll be pretty cool. My dream car in real life is definitely a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. I know that's probably the same dream car that every 13-year-old on Earth probably has, but that thing is so sick, man. The SVJ is just, it's such a cool car, so that's definitely my dream car. Thanks for the questions, I appreciate that a lot. TS again asks, what real-life city would be good for GTA 6? Honestly, I'm pretty biased here, but I gotta say Vancouver. I live really close to Vancouver. I think it'd be a great city for GTA 6. Like I mentioned before, having water be more central in the map and actually be able to access the map a little bit more with boats, I feel like would be cool. It'd add like another little level of detail to the game. The Vancouver area would be really cool. I'll put some pictures on screen so you guys can see this. I feel like Vancouver would be really sick. I really doubt it. It's probably going to be Vice City if I had to guess for GTA 6. I feel like it's going to be Vice City. So we'll have to see, but I feel like Vancouver would be a good city. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. Moving on to the next question, we have Bricks of Life. Congrats, bro. What if GTA Expanded and Enhanced is not available to PC, but only PS4 and console players? Well, I think I kind of already answered that one. I'm gonna have to buy a new console. Kind of upsetting a little bit, but it is what it is. I'll do what I have to do for sure. But yeah, definitely kind of a bummer if it doesn't come to PC. I hope that it will, but I really don't have that much faith, so appreciate the question though. George Milligan asks, shout out George. My question, if I'm venturing into starting a YouTube myself, what advice would you give? I get a lot of views on videos I share, but I never went the YouTube route. If you really don't have the passion for doing YouTube or, you know, gaming like super hard, and if you don't have the passion for both of those things, it's gonna be really hard, but the best advice that I can give you is be consistent and just start. Start off, if you guys go back to my old videos, you shouldn't, but if you do, they're really bad. My old microphone was not that great. It was the headset mic on Astro A40s. It's not an ideal situation, but if you don't start, you'll never get anywhere. So you might as well start and fail than not start at all and just be wondering if you could be a YouTuber, if that's what you've always wanted to be or something like that. Just start, no matter what you have, no matter what your equipment is, just start making videos and be consistent. And once you start, don't stop until it works. That's my best advice. There's been times with this channel, like right before the Contract DLC came out and my content was heavily Forza related. There was a couple GTA videos in there too, but I was pretty bored with GTA and I was just trying to expand into a different game and I wasn't getting a lot of views, and I was starting to have a bit of a conversation with myself about like if I was really doing the right thing here with this YouTube channel, like it was right to even continue this thing given the success that I had got in about a year and a half at that point. I had just hit 5,000 subs, which was pretty good, but I was starting to doubt myself a little bit because the views were going down. I wasn't doing like, you know, crazy numbers. I mean, with that being said, I was still getting like 200K a month at least for views. I was kind of just questioning whether or not like I was doing this right and if it was really worth my time to continue. There will be times where you will doubt yourself. You just got to push through and you got to believe that things will work out, and eventually apparently they do. Largely that is due to you guys. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for rocking with the content. I appreciate it a lot. Now I'm feeling, you know, really good about YouTube. There you go. That's my advice. Be consistent. Start wherever you're at right now. Don't be afraid to fail. Be as consistent as you possibly can be, and just enjoy the ride. Eventually you'll get to a point where everything will kind of work out as long as you keep going. As long as you keep going, something's got to happen. You're either going to find out that it's not for you and that it's not meant to be, or you're going to find out that yeah, you were right. When you find out that yeah, I was right, that's a good feeling. That's what I got to say. Appreciate the question, George. That was a really great question. Let's move on to the next one. Master Chief asks, when did you first start playing GTA and what was your first gaming console? Also, how did you come up with the name and the logo for your YouTube channel? And will you ever do a video revealing your setup? So I've actually got a setup tour on my channel. It's probably a couple months old. I'll link it in the description down below if you guys are interested. The name and the logo for my channel, that's a long story. It's a name that I feel like is really unique. And when I was going to name my channel, I was going to name it like one of a few different things. And I just picked this name because I thought it was the best out of the options that I had. And I'm really glad that I did pick this name. I feel like it's a really good name for a YouTube channel in general. So, and I mean the logo, I literally made it for myself. Like I've made so many renditions of it now, but like the first one I probably made in like 5 minutes, something like that, 10 minutes. I figured out my color scheme and HN, I mean it stands for HarmNone. So yeah, I don't know. That's how I came up with the logo. I first started on September 17th, 2013 when GTA 5 came out. I got it day of release. I started playing online on October 1st, which is the first day that it released. It was a mess. It was a complete mess. The servers were a complete joke, which like I said earlier, that's why Rockstar ended up giving everyone 500K. It's because the servers were trash. So yeah, thanks for the questions. I appreciate it a lot. Billion Jacob C Gaming. Are you planning on playing VR horror games? It would be hilarious to watch if you do. I don't really have a VR setup and I'm not a huge fan of VR. I could play horror games though. I could definitely do that. I wouldn't be opposed to it. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys would want to see that. I'm actually curious. Thanks for the question. Raiders, appreciate you, bro. This guy's been a supporter for a long time now. Okay, here's a question. Since you like to customize cars in GTA, what is your dream car in real life? Aventador, SVJ, great car. Love that thing. Appreciate the question, man. Poppy Chulo Chad, if you were to sell your Infinity, what car would you plan on buying next? I think the Infinity is going to stay with me forever. Don't ever plan on getting rid of that car. If everything goes to plan, I would like to retire that car eventually, park it somewhere nice, shine it up, and just like kind of have it as like almost like a statue. I absolutely love that car. I don't plan on selling it, honestly. If anything, I'll just buy more cars and just keep it around somehow. I'm not sure where to put it right now, but I'm sure one day I'll figure it out. So good question though, I appreciate that. What car would I plan on buying next? I've been looking at Mercedes CLS 63 AMGs a lot. It's a 4-door 577 horsepower 4-wheel drive Mercedes saloon. It's crazy. It's got a twin turbo V8. It's something that I've been looking at. I've heard what they sound like in real life, and they sound pretty crazy. So I've been looking at those. So if you guys see a vlog within the next few months, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. So we'll see. Either that or maybe GT350 Mustang. One of the two. I kind of want something with 4-wheel drive though for winter. 600 horsepower might not be ideal for winter, but anyway, appreciate the question a lot. Caleb asks, remember us when you hit 1 million? My biggest question is, I'm a successful businessman on GTA, but tips for PvP. I suck. That's obviously why I'm asking. Well, I appreciate you asking because I'm going to make a PvP guide at some point soon. I made a sniping guide not that long ago, so if that would help you out, I would recommend going and checking that out. I'll link it in the description down below as well. It's a pretty good video as far as sniping goes, but a PvP guide is probably something that I should do. So I'll work on that. Maybe will get released next week. We'll see. Appreciate the question though. My boy Sinister says, I know that doesn't say Sinister on the thing, but I believe that's what your name is on YouTube, unless you changed it. I remember it used to be something else. I can't remember what, but I remember your profile pic. This guy, he's been around forever as well. I appreciate you, bro. What are your thoughts and what would you like to see in the next GTA game? I kind of already answered this one. Way bigger map, more water involved, anti-cheat, some more unique like businesses. Like I think the MC businesses, bunker, all of that stuff, I think it's all really, really awesome, but definitely some more like semi-passive businesses would be really, really cool. And also the ability to buy more houses. I think that would be really sick too. Thank you for the question. I already kind of answered that one earlier, but I kind of thought of some more things along the way, so figured I would include this still. Appreciate the question. Daniel Keating asks, which book has inspired you the most? That's a tough one. Honestly, I don't read books very much, I gotta be honest. From my days in school, I remember in grade 4, we read a book called Owls and the Family. I don't really remember the book that well, but it was a really, really good book. As well as that though, a classic book that we've read in grade 8, I believe, was of course The Outsiders. I think everybody reads that in at least North America at some point during school, I want to say. I could be wrong, but The Outsiders is a great book. There's also a movie of that if you guys are interested. That is a really, really interesting story. So I wouldn't say they've necessarily inspired me the most, but they've definitely left an impact on me because I remember both of them, obviously. So definitely those two are some pretty good books. Definitely a bit underrated, I feel like, especially Owls in the Family. I can't really remember that story, but I remember it being good. So thank you for the question. That was an interesting one, honestly. Moen asks, do you even lift? At various points in my life, I have lifted weights. I don't currently lift weights. I was actually working out like literally every single day from about this point last year until I want to say like June. And I was starting to see, some little gains here and there, but since probably the summer, like June-ish, I haven't touched a weight. Yeah, I don't know. It got really hot here, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but at the same time, I don't really care about like lifting that much. It's cool if you want to do that and everything like that, but I honestly don't really care. Like as long as I'm in like okay shape, I appreciate the question though. It's interesting. Tom Helling asks, I have some questions for the Q&A. How old are you? I am 20. I'm about to turn 21 on March 9th. That is my birthday, obviously. How many subscribers do you think you can get before the start of 2023, or what is your goal? I was talking about this with a really good friend of mine, Max. He's been in some of the videos. We were talking about this the other day, and honestly, like 100,000 subscribers, I think by the end of 2023, I think is actually, we're over 1/10 of the way there right now, which is crazy to even think about that. And the channel's growing at a pace where by the 2-year anniversary of the channel, which is actually on Max's birthday, May 21st, it's looking like we might be at 25,000 subs as long as things keep going at the pace they're going at right now. So that would be really, really crazy. So we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, but I feel like 100,000 is probably doable. So we'll see what happens. That's a crazy number to even think about, but we'll have to see. Question number 3, what is your favorite car brand in real life? I gotta say Lamborghini. I love Lamborghini. The cars they make are just, they're pretty much like nothing else. You know, they're supercars, but they're just so like angular and crazy looking. I think they're fantastic. And now that they're owned by Audi, they're actually like pretty reliable too. A second favorite car brand to Lamborghini is probably Mercedes for me. I love Mercedes as well. As far as reliability goes, it's probably a lot less reliable than Lamborghinis, or about the same maybe. So Lamborghini, Mercedes, like both of them a lot. What is your dream car and what car do you currently own? So SVJ, like I said a couple times. My current car is an Infiniti G37S. It's a 2009. It's if you don't know anything about the G37S, it's a rear-wheel drive, 330 horsepower VQ37 VHR V6 powered car. It's made by Infiniti, but it's actually a Nissan engine. It shares the same engine as the Nissan 370Z. And my current favorite GTA car, it's always going to be the Adder. So I appreciate that question though. That was sick. Which baller variant in GTA 5 is your favorite? I'm gonna go ahead right now and say the Baller ST. That thing is crazy. It's so good. And question number 6, what is your bank account password? Sorry dog. I don't even know. I can't think of it right now. Ace Rider question, what is the 2313 in your profile picture? 2313, the 23rd letter of the alphabet is W and the 13th is M, which is WM, which stands for Winnipeg Mafia. So something that I'm kind of working on. It's kind of what the crew is called. By the way, I started a new crew on GTA. You guys might have noticed I left the crew. I've started a new one. It's called 2313 WM, or 2313 Winnipeg Mafia. So, and I really like the number 23 because Michael Jordan, and the number 13 I also really like. So it just kind of worked out that 2 of my favorite numbers, and it also stands for Winnipeg Mafia. So that's what 2313 is. So it's just like basically HarmNone Winnipeg Mafia, essentially. So yeah, that's that. Eventually, one day, I would like to start some sort of kind of like phase or something like that, 2313, or maybe something like that. I don't know. I haven't really planned it all out, but something I'm kind of manifesting. So appreciate your question though. And last but not least, we have Quan1993, and he's asking, is Canada really cold? The simple answer is kind of. Basically, if you live anywhere outside of British Columbia, yes, it's cold. And even some parts of British Columbia are really cold. I wouldn't say where I live is necessarily cold. Like it can get cold occasionally. Like it can get down to like minus 20 degrees Celsius, which I guess you could argue is like cold, but kind of depends if you're a pussy or not. I don't really love the cold, but at the same time, I'm not like a pussy, so it doesn't really affect me too much. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba get a lot colder than we do, so it depends where you are, but for the most part, BC is actually pretty warm for like, I want to say at least 7 months of the year. So yeah, it's not bad. Thank you for the question. That's a good one. Anyway, guys, there you have it. That has been the Q&A for 10,000 subscribers. It's crazy that we're sitting here. The goal for the 2-year anniversary of the channel is officially 25,000 subscribers now. Thought that 10,000 was going to be a stretch at one point to actually get to by May 21st, but it's looking like 25,000 is going to be the target. So we're going to have to see what we can do. Channel's going really good right now. We're gaining a lot of subs a day, getting a lot of views, and it's incredible to see, and I have to thank you guys for it. Without you guys, this channel would be nothing. I sincerely appreciate every single one of you who has watched my videos, commented, subscribed, liked a video, disliked a video, left a hate comment, anybody. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.